Hey, how you doing? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending where you are in the world. It is Andrew Hawks here. Great to be here with you this morning. You can call me Doc Drew. If you're not following me yet, you can do so over at Instagram at Andrew Hawks Online, or even at TikTok. Hey guys, on TikTok, hope you're good. At Andrew Hawks Online again. Coming to you again this morning with another cup of coffee. Just got back from my walk. Beautiful day here on the Gold Coast, but I'll tell you what, it is freezing. Definitely had penguins following me this morning, Bruce. Definitely had penguins. Anyway, so we're just continuing the conversation around coffee, around crypto. Well, not around coffee, more around crypto and DeFi, but here we are. And if you are just joining the show for the very first time, drewsdaily.com, there's a whole heap of resources there that you can grab, download, and you get direct contact or direct access to me if you want to have a chat about anything at all, anything that pops up, whatever, don't care. This morning we're going to talk about why DeFi really matters for you. Why it matters. I mean, we've spoken about what DeFi is. We've gone over it over the last few weeks. We've talked about, hey, Darren, how you doing? Good to see there's people on YouTube. Man, I had a tech-tard moment last week on Sunday night when I set a live stream going, and I thought after I'd set it going, I was like, shit, is that public or is it private? And it didn't show up straight away on my feed, and I'm like, I set it to private, so I hit stop. And of course, then it didn't stream. I'd been doing some testing earlier. Then it didn't stream to YouTube, so YouTube missed it. Hey there on TikTok, hope you're good. Let us know where you're coming in from. Say good day and tap the screen or whatever you got to do there. I don't care. I don't know. See a few people joining. I think my son's laughing over there. He's pretending he's asleep, but he's not. So I want to share something with you this morning. Obviously, I walk quite a bit, and I made a post last night on Facebook that I think I've got more clarity and alignment right now than I believe I ever have in my adult life, which is fantastic. We're traveling, things just click into place. You know, I'm not over planning things. We're just going, okay, well, let's just make this bit happen. I mean, there's a little bit of anxiety and stress in the household this week because where were we going next? We knew where our outcome was that we had to get to by a certain date, but we didn't know the route in which we were going to take to get there. And Sarah, my wife, she's like, I just don't know. I said, just book it. This is what we'll do. We'll just do this and everything will work out. And what do you know? Everything works out because the universe looks at it and goes, oh, okay. He does. They do know what they're doing. Let them do that. Anyway, that aside, what I wanted to share with you while I was doing a little bit of thinking, had a little bit of thought, had plenty of time to think. And that's one of the most amazing things about going for a walk. Yes, I listen to a podcast. Yes, I get that beautiful fresh air in my lungs. But yes, it also gives me time to think and process stuff. Even though there might be noise going on in my head listening to a podcast, that always triggers something else. And of course, I'm meditating every morning now before I go as well, so it's just that added layer of clarity. But I started questioning, what are you doing, Drew? What are you doing? And there was a couple of conversations I had with some beautiful people yesterday. There was like, just this whole thing, and it's like, you almost have to do it these days to stand out, almost. I choose to do it because I'm a little bit geeky like that. But anyway, we're talking about the whole Doc Drew thing. We're talking about the whole, this is how I show up. But it caused me to question myself. Have you ever got that? Have you ever been to that place where you're like, oh shit, am I doing the right thing? Oh, no one's watching. Oh, everybody thinking I'm a fool. Oh, who cares? Seriously, who cares? Because the only reason people are judging you or saying something about you is because they're too scared to focus on their own shit that they need to fix. So there's a free one for you. So I thought about that and I was like, well, no, actually, it doesn't matter if there's one person watching. It doesn't matter if there's 20 people watching. It doesn't matter if there's 1,000 people watching. You show up and you do you. You be exactly who you are for the world. You do exactly what you're supposed to be doing to bring humanity along on the voyage, on the journey. So that's what I do. I'll continue to show up each and every day just like this and talk about the pros and the cons of DeFi, of blockchain, of Web3, which, let's face it, Web3 is where we're going to get our freedom from. It's where we get our anonymity back, our autonomy. It's where we get our privacy, our freedom. I don't see any other way at the moment, other than short of a revolution. I'm not calling for a revolution, by the way, but I don't see any other way right at the moment that we're going to regain our own individual sovereignty, that we're going to be able to maintain or retain our God-given personal rights. because we've got governments and three-letter organisations that are absolutely hell-bent on making sure that you will own nothing and be happy. That. And yes, I censored myself because I'm on TikTok. And apparently it's not good to swear on TikTok. So apologies to TikTok if you didn't like that. But anyway, if you are on TikTok and join us, and tap that screen. I think that's what you're supposed to do. I don't know. I'm really, my son would tell me how to do it, but he's pretty good. He's just giving me a thumbs up. He's telling me all last night that he's got a video that's pretty much gone viral. I'm like, yeah, good for you. How are you monetizing that? Yep, everything comes back to that. How are you monetizing it? People go, oh, money's not important. The hell it's not. Money's like right up there with oxygen. If you're not getting any, you're in trouble. Because I don't know if you've noticed, you need money to survive. You need money to move forward in life. And if you're not doing something to create more outside of what you are already doing, and I'm not saying you have to go and build another business outside of what you're doing, but you should do something with the revenue you are receiving from your job. You go, oh, but there's not enough. There's always too much month left at the end of the money. Get disciplined. Start to sell some shit. That's what it'll take. So today we're continuing our discussion. We're continuing talking about, why DeFi, why it's important. Now, if you've ever felt like the whole system is set up before you got there and somehow you're expected to play catch up, you're not really wrong. You're not wrong at all. It's like you work your absolute tail off to provide for your family. And that speaks to what we just said. There's always too much month left at the end of the money. That's a common one. That was a common one for me when I was growing up with my family. There was constant arguments and dramas around how we were going to afford this and how we were going to afford that. And my father was relatively successful. He ran his own business. He had a crew of people. He had one of the largest roofing firms in the whole of the Thames Valley. And covered some kilometres. He had also had his plumbing business, so he had two businesses that are working side by side. He had his drainage business. Yes, I know plumbing and drainage kind of go together, but they can also be separate. And he was pretty successful, but there was still more months left than money. And that's a common thread for so many people. Why? He worked hard. He did things right. He didn't exploit the system. He didn't look for the loopholes. He didn't back himself enough to go, you know what, this is what I want to do. He had a family to think about, absolutely. And look, times have changed. I 100% get that. Times have absolutely changed. But that's why even more so you need to be smarter with what you're doing, why you need to be more committed, why you need to show up consistently. And I don't give a shit, excuse me, TikTok, sorry guys. I don't give a shit if there's only 1 or 0 people watching. Someone somewhere will see this and go, I needed to hear that. And that's why I have to continue to show up. I show up more for me than anything else. And that's what you should be doing too, showing up more for you than anything else. Oh, but Drew, that's selfish. No, it's not. You got to look after yourself, because until you look after yourself and put yourself first for, a portion of the time, you're not going to be able to put anyone else first anyway. So guys, if you are joining us for the first time, head over to drewsdaily.com. Grab yourself the Sovereign Wealth sheet there. There's a DeFi checklist as well. I am all about showing you the ways to give you back your freedom, to be authentically you, to show up, to be counted, and to escape that matrix to the best of your ability. And to the best of the tools allow you to do. Number 2 son is up early this morning too. That's great. Number 1 son actually slept on the couch last night because he had a mate over. That's not as easy as I think it might be when you've been living in hotels. Beautiful sunrise this morning on the Gold Coast. I wish you guys could see it. I'm not going to move my computer to show you, but it's just, trust me, it's awesome. But it is freaking cold. It's really cold out there, really, really cold out there. So, as I said, you work your backside off. Every time you get ahead, something changes. In Australia, you're working your backside off. You're doing the right things. You're making the investments because you want to have a little bit more in retirement, or you want to whatever. And then all of a sudden the government goes, hey, you know that compulsory superannuation we make you pay into, or your employers pay into each and every month, and for your retirement, so we don't have to do it. Well, now we're going to tax you on what we think you're going to make in it next year. Yeah, we just think that's so cool. Because it's a government hell-bent on giving back to people that'll do absolutely nothing. Now, I'm all for giving people a hand up. But those people that continually stay in that system expecting a hand out piss me off. because somebody's got to pay for them, and the government doesn't have any initiatives to do it other than taking money from hardworking people. And yeah, that really pisses me off. So that's why DeFi is so freaking important. That's why I'm such an advocate for DeFi. That's why I'm such an advocate for your own wealth sovereignty, your own independence. Let's face it, it's not getting any easier out there. It's really not getting any easier out there. But as I said, every time you get ahead, some new tax, some new interest rate hike, some unexpected pulls you back. I remember just doing a live stream a couple of years ago, just a very short live stream, and I cut it into, and guys, I'll be honest, I use Opus Pro to cut these clips into smaller, shorter clips, and you might have seen that on TikTok, you would have seen it, on YouTube Shorts, you would have seen it. But the fact is, I was talking about how taxation is theft. And if you look at the definition of a theft, it's taking something by force or by threat, that's theft, then taxation is 100% theft. Because if you look at it, they say if you don't pay your tax, then we're going to throw you in jail or you're going to pay a fine. That's a threat. That is 100% a threat. So therefore, that's why I say taxation is theft. Anyway, my point is, I said in that live stream that Australia, New Zealand's very, very similar, by the way, is one of the highest tax countries in the world. And it is. People are, oh, but the tax bracket, yeah, it's only if you're earning over a certain amount of money that you go into a certain tax bracket. Yeah, okay, I get that. I understand the graduated tax system very, very well. But what they didn't take into account was the 10% GST that is on everything. So you've already paid tax on your money. Now when you go and spend your money, you're getting taxed on it again for goods and services. Okay? Then there's a fuel excise. So you've already paid your tax, but now when you go and put fuel in your car, you're paying a little bit more tax on it. Then you're paying registration on your car to be able to use the roads. Yeah, okay, oh yeah, but that registration money goes to, making sure the roads are bullshit. Does not. Goes to line blooming bureaucrats' pockets. Man, I didn't think this was turning into a rant today, but here it is. Bollocks. Australia and New Zealand, a couple of the highest tax countries in the world. We're at the bottom back end of the world. We're right at the bottom. The only other place that's more remote than these places is Cape Town. And that's right at the bottom of South Africa. Other than Antarctica or the poles, we're not talking about the poles. It takes a long time to get anywhere from New Zealand and Australia. At least in South Africa, you go through other countries. New Zealand and Australia are islands by themselves. But yeah, islands by themselves. Anyway, now the reason I brought that up, right, it's not a mistake. It's not like, sorry, we didn't mean to put that tax on you. We didn't mean to put that new excise on. We didn't mean to do that little interest hike. It's by design. It's designed to keep you stuck in the system. It's designed to keep you playing catch up each and every month and each and every week, each and every year. To hell with that. Beer tax. Yeah, exactly. Darren Eddington's just on YouTube. He's popped up and he said beer tax. There is a freaking alcohol tax. There is in Australia and New Zealand. Now, it doesn't affect me because I don't smoke, but there is a tax on cigarettes. You go to like an Asian country, like Bali or Vietnam or Thailand or whatever, cigarettes are cheap. Like, you can get a pack for $5. Here, I don't even know what it is. I know it's way more than $50. No wonder people are broke. Is because they've been living in a circle of, this is shit, I've got to go to work each week. How can cool, it's the weekend. I can drink beer, smoke cigarettes, watch the footy, be a vegetable. It's like the system's designed to keep you stuck. Most people miss it. Most people don't see it. Guys, if you're enjoying this on TikTok, women, hit those loves. Hit the screen, I think, tap, 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 tap. And if you're here on Facebook or whatever, or on YouTube, give us the like so we can see what's going on. So I know that so I know that this is hitting for you. Now, as I said, it's not a mistake. Now, that side of it, it's not about crypto. It's actually about control. It's designed to keep you a slave to the system. Slavery was abolished a couple hundred years ago. Might not even be that long. but it was abolished. And most people don't realize they're still living in servitude. They're still living in slavery. They're still living in debt slavery. They're a debt slave. Usury on money, which is the interest that we pay on it, is relatively new. I say relatively new because what we know of the developed world, well, we've got history that dates back thousands and thousands and thousands of years. In Australia, the first people were women 40-odd thousand years ago. So usury on money is relatively new. It's in the last 150 years, 200 years. But we pay it without even thinking about it. And while we're given a little bit back, a little bit of breadcrumbs, if we've got some money in an institution somewhere, money through a middleman, we might get a little bit of breadcrumbs back, but the institutions that we've got them through, the middlemen that we've got it through, they make the lion's share. Money begets money. They get the lion's share, they continually build up, they get more and more and more and more and more. Cool, awesome. What does that mean? Well, it means they're getting more and more wealthy off the back of your money. But there's an alternate. There is an absolute alternate that gives you back your freedom, gives you back your power. And if you're joining us for the first time, guys, head over to drewsdaily.com and find out more about what that is. There's a sovereign wealth sheet. You can literally look at it and go, these are the things that I should be doing for myself. This isn't financial advice, by the way. This is just education. That's what I'm here. I'm a conduit to them and try and give the information. I'm no expert. I'm learning. I'm probably only 1 or 2 steps ahead of you. But I'm curious enough to look, and I'm wary enough to ask the questions, and that's something that, I'll tell you what, it frustrates the shit out of me right now. But it's something that I taught my kids. Question everything. So my youngest took that literally. He questions everything. Everything. It's why I'm bald. It's why I've got grey hair. But anyway, it's why we love them as well. So I'm not here today to sell you hype coins or dreams for that matter. I'm just telling you, educating you, helping you understand that there are alternates out there that you have access to right now. Now, you may not have access to them forever. They may change that. They may close that shit down because the system's designed to keep you in the system. The system can't live. The system can't survive, so we need to starve the beast. The system can't survive when people understand that they have choices and execute on those choices. And right now, the most viable choices for those people is going through a DeFi system, is getting into decentralized finance, which has all the bells and whistles that centralized finance has, but you remain in control. You are the custodian of your money. You are the master of your wealth. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not without its risk. And we talked about yesterday, actually it might have been on Friday, we talked about the breaches, the security breaches. Yep, $3.5 billion in security breaches since 2023 for crypto. But funnily enough, that gets reported on, but nobody talks about the over 5 billion in breaches in the centralized system. Why is that? Is it because it's a regulated system and you're protected? You're not any more protected in there than you are in the DeFi system. Let's be honest. It's crazy to think. I struggle to understand some people sometimes. Oh, that seems risky. Yeah, getting off your couch is risky too. Me going for a walk this morning is risky too because I'm dressed in black. Okay, maybe I should have some high-vis stuff on. But I'm responsible for me. I need to be aware of my surroundings. I need to be aware of what's going on. Not some external system, not some third party. I'll look after you. Your money's safe in the bank. Pfft, the hell it is. It's more likely that people join crypto the less they know about it. This is true. This is I can't argue with you, Robert. He said that in Facebook for you guys on TikTok. He said that on Facebook. I have to agree. It's more likely that people join crypto the less they know about it. For sure. But then again, that's why they're also in the bank, because they don't know enough about it. Because if they fully understood how the banking system worked, if they truly understood how the banking system worked, there would be revolution by morning. Henry Ford said that. And he said it because he understood how the banking system worked. We spoke about that, right? They literally multiply your money. The fractional reserve system is that if I put $100 in the bank, they can lend that out. I don't know what the multiplier is now. I think it's in some places up to 15 times. So that means for my $100, they've now lent it out. They've lent out $1,400 or $1,500. Let's just dial it back and say they only lent it out 10 times. So that's now $1,000 that's been expanded from my $100 that's been put in the bank. I'm getting my 4%, 5%, let's call it 7% interest on that 1%, on that $100. Meanwhile, that $1,000 that they've got out is earning them back 70%, 80%, 90%, 100%, 200%. And this is the truth of it. If people understood how the banking system worked, they wouldn't use that either. It's fraudulent. And if we did it, we'd go to jail for fraud, literally. So let's call it what it is. Traditional finance was built on exclusion. It's built with, hey, these people get to have this, these people get to make these decisions, and these people can just live off the crumbs that we choose to give them. That's essentially what traditional finance is. Now, don't get me wrong, you can still get ahead in traditional finance. Maybe not in a totally legitimate way. But if you understand the loopholes, absolutely. Kerry Packer, beautiful. He was one of Australia's billionaires. He's dead now. But he got hauled in front of a select committee in Australia for not paying his share of tax. And they were trying to charge him with tax avoidance. And he said, I'm not avoiding tax. I'm simply using the system that you created. And he followed it up with anyone that donates more than what they're required to needs their head read, because what you guys are doing with it isn't so good that I'd want to donate more. So it's built on exclusion. It's built by people that didn't look like you. And the banking system as we know it was formed on a little private island called Jekyll Island around 1912. And that's the Federal Reserve System. And I'll go, well, the Federal Reserve, that's in the United States. Yep. And the whole banking system in the Western world is modeled off that. In fact, there's only like a handful of countries, 3 or 4 left, that don't have a central bank. When I say central bank, a central bank that is linked directly to the Federal Reserve or the IMF. Just so happens there's conflicts going on in those countries. I wonder why. Anyway, that's for another time. That is literally for another time. Yeah, this coffee is really, really good. Thoroughly enjoying it. Guys, if you're there on TikTok, give us some love. If this is making sense, if you're understanding it, if you're hearing what I'm saying, just tap that screen for me. Let me know what's going on. If you're not following me yet over on TikTok, guys, you can, Andrew Hawks Online, or at Instagram, Andrew Hawks Online as well. And if you want to know more, if you want to grab yourself the Sovereign Wealth Kit, if you want to grab the DeFi checklist, head over to drewsdaily.com. There's a WhatsApp number. We can have a chat, whatever you want to do. So we've already talked about, you give them the money, they lend out 10x, they take out a loan, they own your house until the day you die. With your money, by the way. Man, if you understood how that worked, that's a whole nother rabbit hole that we don't have time to go down today. Or maybe we should go down it. If you've ever signed a check, and I'm showing my age a little bit because I don't even know if they have checks anymore. But if you've ever signed a check, there's a line that you sign your name on. And that line, if you look at it under a magnifying glass, it is actually copy, it's type. It's not just a bold line. It says by authorized signature only in that line, or words to that effect, by authorized signature only. So essentially what you've got is a bill of goods. You've got a contract between the name on the check, which is the bank or whatever, and you, the signatory. So you've got a contract of 2 minds meeting together to say that this is worth this. Well, a mortgage document is actually no different. It's the same. You're signing money into existence. The thing with a mortgage is you're signing your own money into existence from your birth trust, because every birth certificate is traded on the stock exchange. Every birth certificate is traded on the stock exchange. You all have a value. We all have a value. And when we borrow for a house, we're literally borrowing against that value. You're literally bringing your own money from your own trust into existence for the bank to give it to you and you to pay usury on it, you to pay interest on it. Don't have to believe me. Go do your own research. Check it out. Check it out. So if we look at just the last 5 years of what's been going on in the traditional finance, we've had bank runs. And a bank run is when somebody says, you know what, I think this bank's insolvent, I'm going to go and get my money out. Now, going back a little bit further than 5 years, but the biggest example I could give you is Cyprus. There was a bank run in Cyprus where everyone descended on the bank to get their money out. And the Simpsons predicted that, by the way. They say, hey, look, yeah, him and Bart started a bank run. Oh, they've got no money. And of course, everyone's like, what? They've got no money, panic. And they go in to get their money out. That's what a bank run is. The bank literally runs out of money. They've got nothing to give back to the people that go to withdraw their funds. This is going to become more and more apparent and real in the coming months, coming years. Again, not trying to sell doom. I'm saying, hey, look, there's an escape from this. There's a way you can get out of this, for sure. It's not all bullshit and bad news, but it's not all sunshine and rainbows either. So there's going to be currency collapses, and we've already started to see that. Just in the last 5 years, as I said, we started to see that. We've started to see sovereign nations fall over because they don't have the money to, or their currency fall over. Look at the value of the Vietnamese dong. It's worth nothing. Like $1 million dong is like $10, maybe a little bit more. We look at the Indonesian rupiah, Indian rupee, like there's no value in it. That needs to be reset. Maybe it will be, who knows? But it needs to be reset so there's a level playing field for everyone. There's interest rate traps. Look, if you're locked into a variable rate in your mortgage, if you're paying a mortgage, you're locked into whatever the bank says, oh, well, you know, and they're not locked into, but they choose to. Every time the RBA changes the official cash rate, then your mortgage provider will absolutely follow suit. Now, if you've got your whole mortgage on a fixed rate, then you're probably okay, until you're not. If you're locked in at a fixed rate at, say, 4%, not financial advice, by the way, but if you're locked into a financial rate at, say, 4%, and then you come off that fixed rate, and all of a sudden it hikes to 7%, that's almost half again. So if you're paying, say, $4,000 a month on your mortgage, you're now paying $6,000 a month on your mortgage. That's $2,000 a month extra that you have to find once you come off that fixed rate. If you're on a variable rate and they change it, that's going to catch up with you straight away. So, you know. And while we look at those collapses and the things that have happened, the people that are more likely to recover from it than you or I, like the billionaires, and I'm not having a shot at billionaires, I aspire to be one, right? I want to get my things working for me, but I want to do it on my terms. Yes, I'm going to have a foot in both camps, I understand. But the billionaires are bailed out. The bankers go, oh, well, yeah, they'd like, the last big one that we had, when Lehman Brothers collapsed, 2008. The bankers, if you want a real good indication of this, if you want to see exactly what happened, go and watch The Big Short. It explains it beautifully. The bankers, even after doing all that shady bollocks and getting themselves in the shit, then paid themselves massive bonuses from the money that they got from the taxpayer, from the federal, from the federal system, from the governments. Yep, I like that too, Robert. He says billions of people will be able to own a bank account on the new infrastructure. I 100% agree. I 100% agree. And for me, I believe that infrastructure will be based on XLM. Again, not financial advice. It'll be based on the stellar lumens. That's what I believe. For the people to be in the bankless bit and be able to be their own banks. But there's another side to that as well. Another side to that as well. So if that's all the bad shit that goes on with traditional finance, then what does DeFi offer instead? What is so much better about it? It's not perfect. 100% it's not perfect. And Robert's already said, the more people that likely join crypto don't know that much about it. But it seems the allure of it is enough that they go, you know what? I need to find out more about it. This is where we're heading. And I'll say it again. We are going into a DeFi space. No, not DeFi. We are. That's what we're talking about. But we're going into a blockchain space where the banks and the central system will have a blockchain. So they'll say it's all blockchain, it's all on chain, you can verify, blah, 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 blah. But they can also monitor you because they know exactly what number belongs to you. Or you can make the choice and go into a DeFi space where, yes, you still have a number. Yes, everything will still be transparent. But no, No one will know that that is Darren Hetherington, or who have we got here, or Roy, or Maximus. No one will know that it's those people. It'll just be a number. And that is kind of cool. It's transparent. So you can see inside of DeFi, it's transparent. You can see all of the transactions. If it is truly, truly, truly decentralized, then guys, there's a lot of platforms that dress up as being DeFi but aren't. There is. And I've even been involved in them when I was still learning about blockchain. It was like, oh yeah, this is decentralized. Well, is it? Do you control your keys? Oh, no. Then, no, it's not decentralized at all. It's just the illusion of it. More and more people are coming to understand this. But again, it's not perfect, but it's transparent. I can see the code. I can verify the contract. I can look at all the little things about it and go, yes, this is why this does this. And as I said the other day, even if you don't understand the code, you can copy that and put it in a little thing called ChatGPT or into Claude or into Gemini, whatever your favorite AI assistant is, and say, can you please explain this like I'm 5? Tell me what this contract does. Tell me the advantages of it. Are there any pitfalls in it? We have all of the tools at our fingertips right now that we can literally change our lives like that if we want to. And if you're not choosing to, if you're miserable, if you're shitty and go, oh, well, the world's against me and blah, 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 blame me, right? That's where we're at. Sadly, we're in this society that we've, there's an old adage, and I'm pretty sure that the founder of Dubai, the founding ruler of Dubai said the same thing, and other people have said it in history, is that hard times create tough men. Tough men create weak times create weak men. And sadly, we've had tough times. Well, not sadly, we've had tough times for sure, which created tough men for sure, which created easy times, which most of us, around my age and maybe a little bit older, have been living through. And even more so now with the younger generation, very, very easy. And you can see what's happening in society. It's creating weaker and weaker and weaker men. Now, this isn't a pro-men rally or anything stupid like that. It's just an observation, a complete observation. But it's not perfect. It's not, I can read the code. I can do all of those things. The biggest thing for me, and I think this is really exciting, is that I don't need somebody's permission to use my money. To get it out, funnily enough, to get it out of the centralized system and into the decentralized one, yeah, I do. And the banks here in Australia are dicks about it. I'm actually lucky. My bank's really good about it. My bank are very, very good about it. But there's so many people that aren't, and there's so many banks that say, well, no, we've frozen your account. Oh, we've reported you to the fraud squad because we believe you're doing something dodgy. What, just because I want to put my money into the DeFi space? I don't need a banker's approval to move my own money, and that is incredibly important to me. It's open 24 hours a day. We talked about that. There's no red tape. There's no business hours. You're just like, hey, I think I need to access that. I can. And there's mediums now that you can access it digitally and spend it digitally as well, where you don't have to bring it back out through your bank account if you don't choose to. And that's important to a lot of people, because that's your financial sovereignty. That's a way that you can do it for yourself without having to need that middleman. There's caveats with that, of course. You've got to be careful on the ways in which you use it. But anyway, guys, if you're just joining me, head over to drewsdaily.com. Sovereign Wealth Kit there, you can grab that. You can also grab the DeFi checklist. My wife has just woken up. Good morning. I probably woke her up. Oh, she's been awake for hours apparently. She wasn't awake when I left. And that was hours ago. Anyway. It's moving day. Yep, we're leaving today. We're leaving the Gold Coast today and heading west. So we'll head over to Perth, and then we'll go on to the land of the rising sun. If anyone knows where that is, put it in the comments. Okay, so 24 hours. I get to do it. It's. Oh, hopefully that didn't sound. It might have. Anyway, hey, more coffee. Now, in this space, as I've said previously, and I'll say it again, and I'll continue to reiterate it, is that everything that you see in the traditional finance space is either already in the DeFi space or coming to the DeFi space. So you do have a legitimate choice. You do have a choice to go, you know what? I want to be in control of my money. I want to have my sovereign wealth. Florida, not quite, Robert. Not quite. The land of the rising sun? No. There's a song, there's a Cold Chisel song called The Rising Sun Just Stole My Girl Away. And it's actually about a country. But anyway, I'll let you ponder on that. If you're on TikTok, I mean, where do you think the land of the rising sun is? Have another crack, Robert. See if what you come up with. But where was I? So everything that's available in the traditional finance space is either already or coming to the DeFi space. So it literally gives me full control over how I grow my assets, how I move my value, how I make something for myself without having to be reliant on someone else. Are there pitfalls? 100% there are. But the upshot is you get to be responsible for it. There's things that happen in the centralized system that you've just got to live with. You can't do anything about it. Shit, they've changed this and I can't. In the DeFi system, in the DeFi space, the decentralized system, you get to make that choice. Okay, yep, no, I didn't like what happened there. I'm just going to research this other side over here and go to that. Now, I mentioned a website last week. It's called, and I have verified it is still operational, compound.finance. You can literally put stable coins in there and get a ROI on them every year. You can stake them and you'll get returns back. That's magic. And you remain in full control of it, and it's liquid. If you want to come and withdraw it, bang, it's there. No huge penalty like there would be at a centralized organization. So you can grow your assets, not just store them. People think that, it's obviously been advertised that way. Bitcoin is a store of value, and fair enough. Yep, they call it digital gold, but realistically, it's slow and it's antiquated and it's not scalable at all. And I'll be honest, it may not stand the test of time. In fact, I believe that it probably won't stand the test of time because there's other faster, more scalable, more reliable, more whatever blockchains out there. Now, I know people argue that, and that's cool. I'm pleased that you do argue it because it shows that you're passionate enough about it to give a shit. And that's kind of important too. You have to give a shit, otherwise you'd be stuck in the centralized system. Understand what I mean? Yeah. So you can grow your assets, you can protect your wealth from inflation because that's that invisible thief that takes money away from you while you're sleeping each and every day. Let's say you got your money in the traditional space in a bank and you're getting 5% per annum. Yoo-hoo! Sweet, that's awesome, it's amazing. Inflation's robbing you because inflation is going up 6% at the moment on average. So that means you're actually going backwards by 1%. You're losing the purchasing power of your money. And you might argue and go, well, Andrew, but if you're using stable coins and they're back to the back of that, then aren't you also? But yes, but you're increasing it more because the APYs that you're getting or the percentage returns that you're getting, again, not financial advice, are usually 8 to 10%. So you're actually ahead of inflation. Just think about that for a sec. Guys, if you are just joining us, head over to drewsdaily.com. You can grab the Sovereign Wealth Kit, see how you can potentially start to set this up for yourself. That's what I do, is I help people navigate the DeFi space in a safe and reliable way, right? And teach you to look for what potholes to look for and that sort of thing. But it's important. It's really, really important that you look at that. You can also get the DeFi checklist that'll walk you through whatever you need to. Now, why this matters right now for everybody? Why is this so important to understand now? Because we're at this turning point in history. We're at a very exciting and pivotal part in history because there's massive change happening globally. Now, I heard this from the platform. I heard somebody said this on the stage. I spoke a couple of weeks ago to a crowd of about 500 people about this space and specifically about systems and AI. But they said that when there's massive, massive disruption like this, when there's a massive shift, and there is, and I wrote about this in my book, Rivers of Gold, that we're on the verge at the time, and on the verge of the greatest wealth transfer in the history of man. We're there. We're there right now. We're not waiting for it anymore. We are witnessing it. And it started, if you think about COVID and you think about the shit that went on during that time, there was people made literally, Amazon, its stocks went poof because all of a sudden everybody was stuck at home and they started buying online because it was going to be delivered to them. And they were caught, the people delivering were essential workers. Those sectors went through the roof. They made a shit ton of money. That was a massive transfer of wealth at that point in time. My point is, these shifts, these inflection points, as my mate Bruce said, these are the opportunities where people, if they've got their eye on the ball as to where it is going to be and get in front of it, cash in big time. This is literally where fortunes can be made. Not on the back of someone else, just with the ability to see where that ball's going and get in front of it before it happens. Position yourself, that's all it is. And it's not some fantasy about something that's coming soon. It's here now. Now, there are literally kids on YouTube. There's the 15-year-olds earning more staking stable assets than their parents' super. Think about that for a second. Parents have worked hard all their life. They've put money away each and every week into a fund that's managed for them for their superannuation. Not only are they going to be taxed on their future capital gains that they don't even know what's going to be yet, now they've got a 15-year-old snot-nosed kid that's making more than they are just from simply staking stablecoins, just because they learn a couple of protocols. Don't you owe it to yourself to maybe learn a thing or two about it? You might go, oh, but it's so hard. Yep, so was walking, but we managed to do that. Oh, but I might fail. Yep, you probably fell over a couple of times while you were walking too, but you still got up and tried again. The only failure you will have in life is when you fail to get back up, smack whatever happened in the face, and carry on. And trust me, I've been there. I've fallen over more times than I can count. The reason why I'm still here, the reason why I'm sharing this with you and showing up to the one or two people that are watching this, or the 100 people, or the 1,000 people, or the 20,000, doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. But the reason why I keep doing it and keep showing up is because I've got resilience. In the face of that, I go, I built a bit of a muscle. Yeah, I got knocked down. Cool, I'm going to get back up. Got knocked down. Cool, I'm going to get back up. Knocked down. Yeah, cool, I'm going to get back up. I built that muscle and carried on. And you know what? I want to be in control of my future. I don't want anyone else making those decisions for me or for my children, and you shouldn't either. 100% shouldn't either. So there literally are 15-year-olds that are making more from staking a stable coin than their parents are earning from their super. You owe it to yourself, you owe it to your family to learn those protocols and how that works, and do it in a safe and effective way. Now, where's this? This is a book that was written by my mate. I'm going to do a hot seat with him. This is called Safe. Is your crypto safe? And it's a system that he's created to show you how to keep your crypto safe. You know, the different things that you can do. Now, he and I disagree on a few things with DeFi, and he's like, oh, the DeFi space is too dangerous. Is it though? That's where he started. I think the centralized space is way more dangerous, but that's just me. That's just me. So guys, if you're getting value out of here, come and tap the screen and give us some love on TikTok and hit the hearts or drop some fire emojis down below on Facebook. That'd be awesome. But only if you're getting value. Actually, just do it anyway. There are entire countries that are actually bypassing the IMF right now and embracing DeFi protocols. Why? Because the IMF is about control. And if you're not sure what the IMF is, it's the International Monetary Fund. Run by a select group of bankers that haven't been elected. It's a private corporation, by the way, just like the Federal Reserve. There's nothing federal or reserve about it. They're private banks. Every time you use a bank, you're funding them. You're funding those private bankers that own the infrastructure, that own all that. So there are literally entire countries that are bypassing the IMF right now and embracing DeFi protocols. Why? Because they've got a number of unbanked, meaning people that don't even have bank accounts in their countries. The DeFi protocols, the DeFi space allows those people to be able to make payments, to be able to have funds sent to them, to be able to use the DeFi protocols to generate more, to create sovereign wealth that they control, not anybody else. Now, if you wait for the media to tell you it's safe, you've already missed the boat. It's already gone. The wave's gone. The wave's passed. You've missed it. If you wait for that, you're going to be stuck. You're going to be trapped in the old system. In a system that doesn't have your best interests in heart. In a system that wants to make sure you stay obedient, that you comply to everything that has been said to you. I know some good people that lost their jobs over the last 5 years, and I salute them for it because they stood by their principles. They didn't let anyone bully them into what they didn't believe in. And I know the flip side of that too. I know people that thought it was the only way. It was despair. They're like, oh, I have to because I've got to feed my family. I've got to keep a roof over their head. I've got to do this. I've got to do that. Trust me, the universe will find a way for you to thrive and succeed if you want it bad enough. And sadly, a lot of those people are going to pay the price. And we're already starting to see it. I know not many people are talking about it. We can already see what is happening in society. It's not normal for a healthy 28-year-old soccer player to drop dead of a heart attack on the pitch. It's not normal. And for anyone to say, oh, we don't know what's happening, they've got their head in the sand. You've only got to look at what's happened in the last 5 years to know what that's about. But I'm not going to go on about that anymore because maybe I'll get shut down. Yep, if the media tells you it's safe to do so, it's already too late. The wave's already gone. You've got to act now because you have a window and it's closing. If you have a window and it's closing, you've got to act as fast as you can. You've got to learn. I don't mean that you have to throw everything in it full-heartedly. Well, learning you should, but I'm not saying you throw everything in but the kitchen sink and just put all of your hopes on black. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you need to learn. And if that means that you step into the space with a toe and go, okay, let me just have a look at this. Is it safe? How do I learn? That's what you do. But that window's closing. That window is absolutely closing. And it's up to you as to whether you want to move through it or not. Now, I'm not saying that DeFi is the answer to everything at all, because it's not. It's got its issues. But right now, for those that want to be in control of their own life, to be in control of their own finances, it's the best choice available to us. It really is. And no one will convince me otherwise. I'm always happy to and open to look at different things that are out there. But right now, this is what's available for those that want control in their life, that want to be in control of their life, that want to maintain control in their life. As I said, DeFi is not the answer to everything, but it's something that you deserve to know more about. You need to understand that it's an option for you. You don't have to stay in a cage just because the media tell you to, just because it's convenient, just because the banks won't allow you to take your money out. Yeah, Robert said, thanks for the fire there, Gary. Robert's also said on Facebook, guys, he said, it's not everybody's time to get in, but pretty soon they'll come running for help or not. And that's true. You're either going to wake up to what's going on, and sadly, it's only going to be about 20% of the world's population that will. Is that you? I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. But if they don't, they are going to be stuck in that system. So, as I said, you don't have to stay in a cage, guys. We're not waiting for permission anymore. We're going out and creating our own. We're building an exit. We are literally building an exit for people that want it, that don't want to stay stuck in that centralized system, that don't want to be governed by, oh, well, no, you can't go down the road to Brisbane today from the Gold Coast. It's an hour, right? You can't go to Brisbane today because you used more of your carbon credits last month than you were allowed, so we're not giving you any fuel. And yeah, we've got a geolocator on your car now, so we're just going to shut that off. We're going to geocache it. It's coming, man. It's coming. And a lot of the computers in cars these days, they have the ability to do that. Mazda's all got Skytrack technology. It's pretty scary when we're thinking about it. But guys, if any of that resonates with you, grab the cheat sheet over at drewsdaily.com, grab the Sovereign Wealth sheet, grab the checklist, reach out to me on WhatsApp, say g'day, tell me what your situation is, let's have a chat, and we'll see if it's something that would fit for you. It might not. DeFi might not be the right answer for you, but I hazard a guess it possibly is. Bless you. It's my son sneezing away. He has allergies, dust allergies. But anyway, guys, it has been awesome to be here with you this morning. This cup of coffee is still a third full, and it's still wrapped. But as I've said before, it gets better when it gets cold anyway, because it's black. Black coffee is always better when it's a little bit cold. That's my philosophy, my thoughts. But guys, it's been awesome to be here with you. I'll leave you with this like I leave every time, and that is you create everything in your life, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So you might as well go and freaking create something amazing. Honestly, you have the power to do, be, and have, or be, do, and have whatever it is that you want in this world, whatever it is that you desire. So get out there and make it happen. Get out there and make it happen. You get to make it happen. As Robert Larson just said, bank in your own system. Create that system. All the steps are there. All the infrastructure is there that you can be your own bank right now. 100%. Anyway, guys, he kōnei rā. Goodbye. Ka kite anō. I will see you again. And if you're wondering what language that is Māori. It's the native language for New Zealand. Again, he kōnei rā. See you later.